Oh.
All right, Tom, I explained just before you got here that we're going to do things a little bit differently and do the photos first, and then anytime that's left over for announcements and that sort of thing. So let me get the photos up and make.
We got the perfect Hollywood squares here.
So are you seeing photos?
I'm seeing your
Desktop.
Well, that
I'm
wasn't
seeing your desktop.
all that private stuff I have on my desktop. I don't know what's.
I took a copy of it.
Share screen. I don't know. There is something that I do that I don't remember doing.
Okay,
All right. Now is it showing?
All right.
now we're starting.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I need to write something down so I can remember this. But okay. Larry.
Your desktop is still under there, Mike.
What's that?
Your
Oh, the
desktop is
full.
still,
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah. So I need to go to enter full screen. There we go.
there you go.
Okay, Larry.
Hey,
Ooh,
Wow.
nice, Larry.
So
That's Charlotte.
Charlotte, good. Yeah, this is from our, we went down for a concert. And the view was great from the place we were staying, so I took it against the window. I wanted to put in a part of the window, but then it just messed the picture up, so I just focused on just this small section of buildings. The larger one is, I think, the Bank of America Tower, and then and it was a beautiful clear day. And the next day, I also took a picture of the evening. I don't know if you got that.
Yeah, it's coming up next, Larry. This one is just perfectly exposed. I mean, there's not
It is.
there's not a washed out anywhere.
No, it's just interesting how the building straight ahead, Larry, everything, below is in sharp focus, but when you get to the top, was that because of the glass?
Because of the top of the building? No, that's
Yeah.
the tower has some kind of elements. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that is clear. All right.
Yeah,
It's a
they're
design
lightning.
element.
They're lightning rods, maybe.
They did it so they could be the tallest building in
That's right.
Charlotte.
That's
Yeah.
right. Helen, you're right.
Here's the evening shot, which is also great.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, look.
Oh, nice, nice.
So that's the same shot on the right, I mean the left. I got a bit of glare and I turned all the lights off in the place that we were staying, but I think I was getting external. You could see half the picture has got a lot more light. And I think that came from the building across from us that had those lights, and maybe it picked it up. But it was the best I could do.
No, it looks, because I like the way on the bottom seems perfectly exposed. The shadows are well lit. And then you got the real bright lights of the buildings up above it, and the lighting on the trees.
And I thought,
Which
Larry,
camera
that maybe this was a panorama and that was the scene between two pictures, but what you said makes sense. I think it would be a good picture if you cropped it. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could have done that to show day and
Yeah.
night, but I wanted to show the expanse of the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, it loses something, but there's still a good picture in there.
Yeah, good idea.
What camera were you using?
I'm using the Sony. No, actually, I was using my Samsung smartphone.
Oh, okay.
Well, two good
Nice.
shots.
And did you have the lens right against the glass?
Yes.
Did you have the lens right against the glass? Okay.
Yeah, I was right against the glass.
Good
That's
work.
really good.
Very nice.
And this one is Bill's.
Hmm.
Oh, I know where that is.
Oh, shocking, huh, Leslie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a pretty good guess.
Yeah, we,
Lovely picture, Bill.
Hmm?
It's really interesting.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, that's kind of why I chose this. This was during the walk that we had through that private arboretum.
Yeah.
And it was really, yeah, I thought we were going to be walking through the woods a little bit, but there's buildings everywhere. And this was one of them that I just felt intrigued to put the lens against the glass and go in, but I was using my my hood, which allowed some of the light that you see in the top left diagonal and on the right-hand side to come in. In here, we have the interior of the building with some of the old photographs, like on the bottom there, by just on the right side of the bottom of the door. We got the little selfie of me looking in the window.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Is the shadow in the picture your hat?
Well, I guess part,
I mean, the dark part?
I think it
Probably.
is.
Probably, yeah.
I
Okay,
think it is.
it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks like a
And
hat.
and because when I took the shot, the meter was focused in this building, and the right-hand side where you see the reflection of the building behind us, that was pretty bright.
yeah,
So what I did in Elements is I just went through there and selected that area and just reduced the brightness a little bit so that it was a little more balanced. But
And
now,
and
was
that's
Bill
this,
Bill is the immediate foreground, the yellow or gold part, is it this a leaded window?
yeah, it's a leaded window. And
And were you
Yeah.
right up against the glass? I can't remember.
the lens hood was, yeah, I went right up against it. If I had taken the lens hood off and put the lens right on the window, I would have eliminated a lot of what's around it.
right, yeah,
But I kind of like the bit of confusion about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's, inside of it is interesting. It's probably more of what, the Japanese call wabi-sabi, kind of, incomplete, imperfect, impermanent. So,
Now-
I just kind
was
of
this
like.
the owner's home?
No, it's just one of the buildings that was
Wow.
floating around on the property.
Wow,
I
And-
would call it a summer house that overlooks the lake.
whoa, where are you going?
I'm going to your
Where's-
photo. I was gonna do this in the
oh, okay,
the overview, but decided that this was a good transition to it. But that's the crew, except for the photographer, Leslie.
A
wow,
good time was had by all, and we can go again anytime anybody wants.
yeah,
I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
missed it.
sorry. I'm sorry I missed it too.
me too.
Actually, my wife was interested too, so maybe
Great.
sometime we'll just get another whole group together and.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Wow,
All right.
there we are.
Helena's up.
Okay, that is also in, I think, the other building. And
I
it's
think
through
this is in the
window.
bathroom building.
Yeah, this is a bathroom, I assume.
Yeah. There are three, well, it's actually a toilet room. There isn't a bath in it, but there are three buildings on the property. One is a kitchen, one is a toilet, and the other one is a bed. And they're all big, I don't know,
Wow.
5 by 7 or something. They're not very big.
Yeah.
And it's
This
in
was
addition
with
to
my
the main
Minolta.
house?
What?
Yeah, are these 3 rooms in addition to the main house?
Yeah, this is out this is out above, there's a pond there, and where we took the picture, it's above the owner calls it Tom's Village.
Yeah.
He's, the owner's name is Tom, obviously.
Leslie, how many acres was this on? Was it
Over
83?
83.
Yeah,
And I ran into Tom the other day and, excuse me, he said he's been living there since 1983.
Okay.
Okay,
I have
this
this
one-
attributed to Helen, but this is one of yours, Leslie?
No, this is Helen's.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's-
all right.
That's mine, and I did take that through the window. I realized as I was taking it that I had the lens on automatic focus, and that if I pressed the lens to the window, I didn't know which way the lens was going to go, so I got as close as I could, and I heard it move, and then I put it to the window as close as I could get. But I just liked the light.
It's
Yeah.
really nicely framed, you
Yeah,
know.
the light's great.
It's
Yeah,
really-
shadows.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
There's
one of
a-
the things that draws my eye is that elephant giving the evil eye to
Mhm.
everything else in the picture, you know?
I mean, there were many pictures. The one above it, you can't really see. There's a frame.
Mhm.
Is a picture of probably an Italian hall with a black and white floor, but
Hmm.
it blurred, and I couldn't include it. But it was lovely too. So there were just in the bathroom through the window were many, many, many different shots, and
Beautiful.
And I'm sorry, Helen, what camera did you say you used? Was it your
this was my Canon.
Canon? Okay.
I see these pictures and I will say again, I regret not making it. Gee, I
What
wonder
about
who
the-
this could be. Tom?
Tom,
Well, the challenge was shot through a window, so.
That's
Oh
great.
dear.
Well, it looks like it hit the
Wow.
blind too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if people might remember, but I took a photograph of a building in kind of a ghost town up in Virginia one time, and this was one of the windows in that sort of abandoned cafe
Oh,
called Rosie's Cafe.
well, I'm glad it's not
Oh.
your house, Tom.
Yeah, right.
But I guess kind of the one interesting thing was I did not have the lens against the window, and you can see me back there, but I spent a good deal of time trying to at least make it so that you couldn't recognize the shooter, the photographer, trying to blur out that stuff in between the slats and the,
Mhm.
Yeah, there's,
otherwise
What was
you can see a little silhouette. I had a job.
what was the
Yeah.
name of that, Tim?
I had a
Don't
job
tell
at
me.
one point that made me not a very popular person. And one day I came out to my truck and there were bullet holes all over the
oh
windshield.
man.
And when I got closer, I realized they were decals that one of my coworkers
Oh my God, that could give somebody a heart attack.
Yeah, it pretty much did.
Hey,
me.
Tom,
But
Tom,
Yeah,
what was it? What was the name of that town again?
Clover,
Right, okay,
Clover,
good.
Clover, Virginia. Yeah, it's up near let's see, east of South Boston.
Not too
That'd be
far
good.
away.
So what is that? Is that a bullet hole? What is, I guess I don't, is that
Yeah,
a, bu-
that's a bullet hole.
probably a BB.
Yeah,
Well,
because it
I
didn't.
thought about that, but it broke the blind behind it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, probably a
I don't
22.
know. I don't know how big a 22 slug is, but
Yeah,
that might be a 22.
it had to be a small caliber, I think, in order to just
Oh
you know,
yeah.
leave that small hole and get through and hit the blind. But
Right,
then,
but
Not
it did-
break the window.
yeah,
It was big enough to break the blind, so I
yeah, interesting.
This is Tom as
Oh,
well.
lovely.
Wow,
wow.
wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Where's
this
that,
is,
Tom?
This is in French Quarter in New Orleans, this shop window. And I guess, yeah, it was, frankly, I thought it was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
The doll is creepy, that's for
Because,
sure.
yeah, I mean, it was like, whoa, is that thing alive? I mean,
Right.
a corpse.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it's an amazing photograph. I really like it, but it is
Yeah.
definitely creepy.
Yeah. So that, I guess technically an interesting thing about it was since I also, you know, didn't know about putting the lens right against the window. And there was a reflection that went right straight through the doll's face. And I put it into Affinity and scrubbed out the line with the clone. If you, I don't know, can you zoom in, Mike, on the face? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you get in there close enough, you can see how I scrubbed it out. That's
Well, you did a great job.
I can't see
Yeah.
it. Was it right in
Hard to
here?
tell, yeah.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
was.
it just looks like part of the shadow or part of the painting of the
Yeah.
doll's face.
Well,
Yeah,
what
it worked
makes-
out. It worked out quite well.
Even,
Are we sure that's a doll?
yeah, I was gonna
Wow.
say,
I'm telling you.
it's even
was like,
creepier
oh my
when you get up close and see how realistic that doll is. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there was a trend in the late 19th century, early 20th century out of Germany where they made such realistic dolls, they were creepy.
Yeah.
This may be
I've
one.
used them in shows and dolls that are made to be infants. And it is very, very strange working with
Yeah.
such a thing.
This next one is.
You guys tell me this, has anybody had any experience using a soft lens hood to help them get up close? That was one of the hints that I found, and I wondered if it was worth $12 on eBay to order one.
What do you mean, like those cups that is perfectly round and they,
Yeah,
so you can
yeah,
get
kind of-
right up?
yeah, mushy,
Yeah,
soft rubber or
They
plastic.
collapse. Helen, before you
Right.
buy one, let me know what size the lens is, because I have one that I'm not using, or a couple even.
Well,
Okay.
Betty told me she bought a couple of those collapsible dog bowls.
Mm.
Yeah.
And cut a hole in the bottom. I don't know if she took pictures with it using it or not.
Wow.
Well, now
Yeah, that was
would
one
be a
of the
lens hood.
videos that I sent.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
videos were great, Bill.
But it said that it would allow you to get it at an angle,
Mm.
and that would be nice.
Yeah.
This is a quickie by Tom.
Backup camera.
Backup, yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh.
funny.
That's great.
Oh,
It's so funny.
And
I love the title, Check Your Surroundings. It has this sort of paranoia feel to it.
Mm.
And I imagine if you saw this in a film, there could be somebody running across that parking lot toward the back of the car with a gun or something.
well, and Tom suggested that maybe we need to have a rear view camera challenge. Might be kind of fun.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I could just picture somebody lying down right behind the car.
Yeah.
They
Oh.
just ran over.
Ooh. Oh, just some feet
It
right at
has a
the
lot of
bottom here.
possibilities.
You know, sort of like the Wizard of
That's right.
Oz.
We could get that doll.
Oh, wow.
This
Ooh.
is Susan.
Aquarium.
Well, it's not
So
Susan.
that,
It's Susan's picture.
that is me. That's what I transformed into that.
Wow.
So what happened was, well, I'll just tell you real quickly. I was down at the beach and I kept taking all these pictures from into my room and all the reflections and stuff. And then we went on a rainy day to the aquarium.
Oh, yeah.
So all
Wow.
my pictures are from the aquarium, and this is I think it's a jellyfish.
Looks like it,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's a man of war.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, so I just got in
Fantastic.
and took all these took many pictures from the aquarium. So
Yeah.
this is
Great
Beautiful
picture.
picture.
beautiful.
Now, did you do anything to the background? Because it's, or is it just the way you caught it?
well, I did the enhance on the on photo elements. So it's
Okay.
a little, just a touch bluer than it is. And then there were just a few spots. that I took out, but other than that, and cropping it, but that was it.
Mm.
So pretty much the color that the jellyfish was in.
Wow.
Perfect
Little-
background.
Beautiful.
Incredibly beautifully framed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so amazing. I mean, I actually, I had my point and shoot with me at the beach, and this is what I got with it.
That is great.
Great shot. And like, didn't pick up on who said it, but the composition is perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like how it has the vignette, but it's off center of the vignette. That's really
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do the vignette. It took me a while to figure that one out.
Oh, okay.
But I did do a vignette on this one.
That's a great picture too.
Yeah.
So this was the other one from the aquarium, and I have to say that when I saw the child in the picture looking at this, it was like, okay, I mean, putting kids in a picture, I guess, wins every time. But I did say to Mike, I did not adjust the skin tone, which I should have, and he told me how to do it, but that was after I'd already sent it in. So
Yeah,
Well,
the
and
composition
Susan, you
is
give me
beautiful.
more credit. I told you how I've attempted to do it. But
I tried it last night and it was better. Yeah. Anyway,
I took some
That's
pictures
great.
over the weekend at an art fair, and it was underneath, a lot of the pictures were underneath a red canopy, and everything was red. And it's driving me nuts trying to get them anywhere close to acceptable for the people that wanted the photos. And I don't know, maybe there's a need for a tips and tricks on getting flesh tone to come out.
Color cast.
'Cause
I think that would be,
I certainly don't know if what I'm doing is the way it should be done. And I don't know what to do to prevent the problem in the first place. Stay out from underneath a red tent would be one of them, but
Mhm.
A filter.
oh, the other thing though, that I realized is that, and this part of the tips and tricks would be to just get the child. In other words, when I did change it for the skin tone, it of course, it changed the whole picture. And,
Right.
I guess it's that whole thing about tracing out something within a picture.
Oh, yeah, you could have lassoed her or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
well, I just
But
I just had
it
the
looks-
thought, what would happen if you silhouetted her?
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
What would that do? It would
Well,
change her
it would
to,
essentially, it would take all the color out of most everything. So it was more like a
Oh.
shadow looking in, but that's just a brainstorm, but
yeah.
I like this picture because it's one that actually tells a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fascination on her face with the fish.
I know.
And like I said, Susan, you framed it. The composition is excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, for some
I
reason,
like the shadows of the fish in the water. I think those are awesome.
Yeah. And the colors of the rocks around them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Shadows.
And speaking of rocks, there was one particular rock that apparently Susan thought was worthy of a photograph.
Wow.
Does anybody know what this is? This is one reason why I like to take photographs is so you can look at stuff that you wouldn't normally look at.
Yeah.
Tom, do you know what this is?
That's a
I want
rock.
to say it's a mud puppy.
Oh,
No, it's a hellbender.
Ah, yeah.
The hellbender, and the reason that I included it was, I guess it's sort of this little educational thing. These are in Western North Carolina. They're sort of endangered, and I'm a member of the North Carolina Herpetological Society, which is reptiles and amphibians, and people who are real members. I mean, I'm just kind of an observer. Whenever they get to see a real hellbender, they are very, very excited, when they're in Western North Carolina. But this is what it looks like, and its eyes are very strange, and they grow they're about usually a foot, but they can be bigger than that, and they can live a long, long time, like up to, I think, 30 years or something.
What's their natural habitat?
Clean streams. That's the other thing
Oh.
is Western North Carolina, usually it also indicates that the stream you're in is the stream is very, very clean. But anyway, I couldn't resist. I had to include this one.
Well, what we need to do is to get Tom's picture of his backup camera and put this in there looking, be aware of your surroundings and have this looking in at you.
I think the Hellbender title comes from seeing it and getting the hell out of there. But
That was great.
it is great. This is Frank.
Okay, this one last week, I was, when we got back from our trip to Williamsburg, I was working in my dining room and my wife put the sprinkler on outside and the water kept hitting the window. And I thought, oh, this might be an interesting shot. So I got up as close as I could to the glass. I still had the lens hood on, but, I aimed it out. I put it on a fairly, 500 of a second shutter speed. And then as the, would come around and the water would hit, I would take multiple shots. And then I liked this one the best with the water hitting the window and, the sprinkles that it was forming. Plus the background appeared to be in pretty good focus. So I just thought, well, I'm going to go with this one.
It reminds me of like a Tiffany lamp or something.
Yeah, with the green and all that green, and it's just
Just the patterning and stuff. It's very lush. It's very nice.
and,
I think it's amazing that with all the water on the window, you got the bird feeder not obliterated.
because it was probably one of the ones where the water was just coming across. So the left side was still pretty clear, while the right side, as you can see,
Yeah.
there's more water involved on that one. That's why I took the multiple shots, and they just, with that Canon 80 that I have, it shoots so fast that,
Yeah.
just in a couple of seconds, you get like 10 shots in there. And I just went through them and then picked this one out.
It looks like an impressionist painting.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah. I remember one time down at the Goat, it was a really warm morning, and the air conditioning inside caused like a little bit of a film over the glass. And I got a picture of two people sitting out at the table, and it definitely looked like an impressionistic painting. So I was going to try to go for something like this again.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, it's
going
great.
for, it's a watercolor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Never mind.
Got it.
Got it.
Took me a minute.
That first one was my, attempt at looking out the window. This is looking in. This was when we were in Williamsburg last week, and we came out of dinner one night. It was dark outside, and there was a Christmas tree shop. So I walked up to the window, and again, I got as close as I could to it and kept it at a somewhat wide angle, so I could get the, pretty much the whole a portrait of Santa looking out the window. But kind of what struck me is he's got, if it wasn't a Santa Claus, I'd say it was a peeping Tom, like somebody looking through a window. But, we know Santa wouldn't do that. That's,
Well, it depends on which side of the glass you're on, if you are the peeping Tom.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about realistic looking dolls.
Yeah. The decorations they had in there were amazing. That was, and again, it just struck my eye as we walked out and we were getting ready to head back to our house, and I saw this, and since it was dark behind me, there was not a lot of reflecting, like lights or anything reflecting on the glass.
It's
But,
great.
yeah, there's something about his face that just grabbed me.
In terms of it being dark outside, Frank, one of the things about through a window is using a dark cloth over your head and camera, and that's kind of what the darkness
Right.
is for you. But it's
Yeah,
so
I could
clear.
have gotten somebody to hold the dark sheet behind me, and then it
Yeah.
wouldn't show up.
Yeah. All right,
Still,
Leslie.
it's a good-
Well, this was, I tried, this was through my window, a suet feeder. The birds left me a heart-shaped present.
Oh.
And I tried turning it so that the heart would be upright, but it just didn't work. So that's the way it was. I mean, it was pretty amazing to wake up in the morning and find this heart there.
That's right.
Well,
But
you
this was done with my
nailed depth of field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well, the iPhone did. I mean, this was right up against the glass and I took
Hmm.
the picture. So,
Was
But the
it on
interesting
portrait,
thing-
Leslie?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it
that'll
was.
do
But
it.
the interesting thing is in iPhoto, when it says portrait at the top, if you click on it, it takes the portrait part, it takes the fuzziness away.
Mhm.
And then you just get the whole picture. So you can, you can look at it both ways. I never knew that before. I thought that was
Huh.
really interesting. So,
that is really nice.
Yeah.
well,
That is.
this was a challenge I really had a hard time with. I mean, I ended up taking my daughter to Con Key for her birthday last week, and they had aquariums there, and I took pictures of the fish, but they all came out fuzzy.
Are
Yeah,
those,
it's tough to do.
water droplets at the top?
No, that's the chain,
Okay.
Oh,
just
right.
far enough away that it got fuzzy. Yeah, and this is my other one.
Yeah, you
Oh, I
want
like that.
you want a definition of sharp. This one's it.
Yeah,
Jeez.
this was also at the Con Key restaurant, and I took it in color, obviously, but nothing in color really stood out to me. So I put it in black and white, and then I liked it.
Oh, it definitely made a
Nice.
difference. I didn't see the first one, but
Yeah,
there's something about black and white that, I want to do more of it.
yeah, and I did sharpen this.
Mhm.
It was really interesting. I haven't done much post-processing at all, but I went through and I did all of the different, this was just in the iPhoto program, but I did all of the different, oh gosh, I'm losing my words. All the different things that you could do to modify the picture. I went on and did the, up and down 100, either 100 or minus 100 or whatever. Anyway, I
Was
thought,
this with your iPhone again?
Mhm,
Nice, very nice.
yeah.
That is remarkably, the composition is beautiful,
Oh, thanks.
everything about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, you
really
couldn't
nice
even see
shot.
the composition really when it was in color.
Hmm.
But
There's a
thanks.
there's a samurai sword in the bag.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just noticing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all Japanese, it's a Japanese steakhouse. So they have kimonos, and the fabric there is actually part of a warrior getup. With the
Hmm.
guy with the, big things coming off of his, the helmet with the big yellow gold things coming out that you see in movies sometimes, but yeah, it was nice.
The bird is so clear too. That's
That's
amazing.
what shocked me.
Hmm.
Because I think the lighting came out really nice, and it was just the lighting that was there.
Hmm.
So,
As with most things, I've worried probably where I shouldn't about time. I hope we haven't pushed too hard, but we're now down to some photos by Kikob and Betty.
Mhm.
And these first two are Kikob, and I was just looking on my phone to see if he explained what these were. I think he did. Yeah, he did. The hummingbird photo is through our family room windows, untouched.
Mhm.
beautiful.
Gotta focus.
Amazing.
That is.
Well, and the depth of field is perfect. It looks like the focus was sharpest just right behind the
Yeah.
bird
Yeah.
on the stalk. But that bird, that may be motion blur. I mean, that I can't imagine a hummingbird sitting still even long enough to get this shot.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't,
You so rarely see them on branches.
Yeah. Good shot, Kikob.
lovely. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
Mm.
This-
Well, I'm sure a lot of us have the opportunity to take a picture like this. The landscape is through a helicopter window in the Yukon.
Oh,
I thought it was a plane or a helicopter. Where
In the
does it say where
Yukon,
it-
did you say?
Yukon, yes,
Um,
and it was clarified, and that's the only processing he mentioned.
Post-processing.
What does clarified mean?
It's a haze.
Just to
I
clarify.
don't, not something I use. Bill, do you know? Or anybody else? I think it is kind of like haze reduction, but I don't know that.
it's, I know on the Photoshop, there are 3 sliders. You've got texture so that you can, bring out the texture in the picture. The second one is clarity,
Yes.
which you slide it and it makes the picture a lot more clear.
Mhm.
And then there's the haze. Haze
And the
control.
haze reduction is the one that I use
Yeah,
most frequently. I think I've tried clarity before, but yeah, it might be just a slight sharpening.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the thought I had too, Bill, that it might be sharpening.
Mhm.
Now, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'd like to see this with the haze reduction. Yeah.
Frank, thank you for using the word slider. That's the word that I could not find in my brain when I was writing all the photos.
I'm trying to channel Graham and his horizontal horizons.
yeah,
And
right.
I don't know how you could make that horizon. I'm trying to turn my screen and I don't know. I mean,
I don't think you can. I think that is the horizon.
yeah, I think
No, you don't have, clouds don't fall down hills like that.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, I didn't notice the clouds.
yeah, well, maybe it's
So, I mean,
maybe it's the curvature of the earth.
Mm.
Who knows?
That is.
It's a good shot. I love it.
Still-
No, maybe it was shot to a helicopter, it was tilting. And when you
Yeah.
looked out and took this and, if you try to straighten it too much, I think you're gonna lose something.
Yeah. I wish he was
You
here
cut
to
off the edges.
talk to us about it. Maybe have a comment next time.
Mm.
Cool
The
photo.
haze reduction would really make it pop. Because that haze reduction in elements
Mhm.
does a really good job.
And I don't see it first off in this shot, but over here on the right, there's a really, really bright spot.
Oh, yeah.
That may be a reflection off a window instead of something that,
Something, right.
It's a UFO.
what was that, Bill?
A UFO.
Oh, yeah. Nice job though, Keycom.
That was
Yeah.
nice. Hmm.
Ooh.
This is Betty's, and this
Nice.
is a place that we've all seen very often. This is the tower, the water tower behind the hospital, between the hospital and the football field.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's just a remarkable shot.
Yeah, it really is.
It was shot inside, of course, looking out at the water tower supports
Hmm.
with her
I
iPhone
trying to-
13 Pro.
I was trying to figure out what this was a picture, and it was because I was too stupid to read the caption, but I couldn't imagine. And even knowing what it is, can you possibly conceive of going up that staircase?
No,
Never.
No,
Sure.
no way.
I love
sure,
it.
Bill.
Sure.
Don't look down, Bill.
It might be interesting to see that in black and white.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh,
Good point. Well, this one knocks my socks off.
I love all the shapes, the lines and curves and
Yeah.
everything throughout the whole picture.
I could do the staircase, but maybe not that ladder out to the right of the staircase.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking, Tom. That looks like another way of getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
beautiful.
mean,
What, a tribute to the architect. Wow.
Yeah.
I'd have
Beautiful
to
thing.
take a,
I don't think that's a ladder on the right. I think that's pipes or something.
Maybe.
No, it's a
Yeah.
ladder.
Well, it's a ladder. Yep.
It's a
I mean,
ladder.
the rungs are so far apart.
No,
Oh, those
no,
are
those
not-
are, that's a support, that's a safety support.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, I see yep, got it. Sorry. I was just looking at that part.
climbing either one, I'd have to take a lunch in my nap blanket.
Could you
I might be
imagine
able to
having
go
that?
up, but I'd never be able to come down. Oh, wow.
This
Wow.
is another
This is
shot of
also
Betty's.
Betty.
Yeah, she shot this through a window also. This is buildings that she could see from inside the hospital. So she again shot with her iPhone 13.
That's an amazing photograph.
The
Reflections off
distortion
of mirrored buildings make for a lot of really good shots.
is just
Uh,
another incredible shot.
I don't really, are we looking at a mirrored building or what? I don't quite
I
understand.
think so. I think this may be shooting out towards a mirrored building. And what you see is well, no, it couldn't be, or would it?
Hmm.
Would the stairs over on the left be back if it was a reflection? I don't know.
If it was a reflection, we'd get to see Betty in there somewhere.
Right,
Yeah, unless you
can't
drop
place-
yourself out.
unless she was aiming up or something. I don't know. Yeah. You would
I
think
don't
you
know
would
where
see.
this is, but again, it's UNC's hospital.
No, it looks like that's part of the parking garage, doesn't it? Stairs, elevator on the left-hand side
That's what I was thinking.
and the
And
ramp.
that's not reversed.
Yeah.
That's not
No.
a mirror image. That's a,
Right, that's true.
yeah.
Well, what made me
Well,
think
she'll have
that
to
it's
explain it to
the
us.
reflection is that the distortion of the buildings that are past the parking garage.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Really
really great.
interesting though.
That is.
A lot to look at. And
Yeah.
this is Betty as well.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
this
beautiful.
is at Litchfield, shot at night using the night mode. I think she said on her iPhone 10, but night mode.
Hmm.
Oh,
really
that's
beautiful.
just beautiful.
Wow,
Wow.
it is.
And where is it?
Yeah,
now?
she's.
Litchfield, South Carolina. This was
We should
out
put
of,
we should put that creepy doll in this picture somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
but the cottage they were staying at, this was another cottage on a
Mhm.
rainy night.
I love the moss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The mood of this one is spectacular.
Yeah.
it is.
just beautiful.
She really captured it, definitely.
Yeah, it reminds me of Savannah.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Actually, it's not Litchfield's Merle's Inlet, I beg your pardon.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Helen, where was that?
I was thinking it was Litchfield, but it's Merle's Inlet in South Carolina, right up from Litchfield.
Okay.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
I would make it small again. I really, so many photographs like this look really great when they're really small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Well, I
You
think
don't
the
remember-
dark
You can
background,
take it off. Well, maybe,
adds to the atmosphere.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you were mad,
You know, it reminds me of,
if you were matting this, I think you're right, Tom, that putting a black mat around it would be perfect.
yeah.
Mhm.
It reminds me of those 3D stereoscopic things we had when we were kids. Those plastic things that it was early AI, I guess, or something. Those circular things that had the photographs in it that if you
Yeah,
looked through it
Yeah.
in
The
3D.
view.
Viewmaster.
There you go, ViewMaster.
Viewmaster. Yeah.
Well,
Bravo.
I can breathe easy. I'm not gonna cheat anybody on talking about their photos, and I'm gonna
Nope.
be able to get to my appointment without having to
Mhm.
have a heart attack on the way. So
Are you sitting in a underneath the skylight? Because your whole head is just glowing.
I am, yes. I keep trying to move, but I can't.
Oh,
Sorry, Mike, I didn't interrupt.
I thought you were talking about my bald head, Leslie.
No, but she looks like she's about to take off or something.
I know, I can't, I'm trying to push everything back and get out of the light.
That's all right.
Well, to accommodate me, we flipped the agenda. Are there any announcements that people want time for?
Yes, I think we do have a couple. Thanks to Lynn, I believe that we're going to be able to have our next meeting in person.
Wow.
I'll let Lynn tell about it, but we are going to check out the room and be sure that Mike can find no, I can't think of the word anyway, that he can Zoom from the room. And what we're going to suggest is kind of a hybrid approach, and everybody bring their computers if they want to, or their tablets, and then we'll have big screen plus the ability to look closer on our own.
Okay.
So this is a Chapel in the Pines Presbyterian Church. It's just on the north end of Briar Chapel. So you're going to go down Man's Chapel Road and turn left where the water tower is, depending if you're coming from 15501. It's about a third of a mile down the road on the right.
It's a beautiful building.
Easy to get to, plenty of parking. So
Okay.
And I don't
It
want to
should work well.
overload the church's Wi-Fi. I don't know what capacity there might be. It'd be a luxury to have it in the first place, but I'm going to bring my computer, my laptop, to see if I've got enough signal for a hotspot. And that might be a good plan for others if you have it, just to stay off of their Wi-Fi, not overload it.
Right.
well, I don't know. I mean, we've certainly had the occasion where a lot of people were using Wi-Fi at one
Okay.
time. So we can talk to Andrew about it when we're there. He's the pastor of the church. He'll be there when we're there. So we'll check it out.
Yep.
More information to come, but I think we can have some time before the meeting as people come in to just meet and greet.
Yeah.
Which will be a luxury.
Or after.
Will we recognize each other in person?
I don't know, maybe we should wear
Maybe
masks.
I'll do a screenshot and carry it.
Yeah.
Well,
We
I'm
will
grateful.
realize how tall or short everybody is.
I'm sorry, say that again, Susan?
I said, we'll realize how tall or short everybody is.
Ah, there you go.
Short.
Short. Well, at least
Sure.
you can say wide. So what is the challenge for the next
Yeah,
time?
good. Thank you for the segue, Lynn.
You're welcome.
The next one is trains and
Trains and
tracks.
tracks. Right.
Say it
And
again?
Trains and tracks.
yeah,
Oh,
there was no planned tips and tricks for this. The label that came from the committee was a discussion of aperture priority, shutter priority, or manual settings. And I think this challenge and the next challenge may both fold back on those same things. The idea is using shutter priority if you were shooting pictures of moving things. Aperture priority if you wanted to have really great control over your depth of field. And manual if you wanted to control both depth of field and shutter speed, and let the ISO setting get your exposure within the right range. Most cameras have a manual setting for ISO and a setting for auto ISO. And if it's on auto ISO, you can set limits, high and low. Danger with using slow shutter speed, and high ISO as you get noise in the shot. But I'm going to have some links to Helen. And again, the internet tubes have lots and lots of stuff. You just do a search for shutter versus aperture versus manual settings, and you'll get a whole page full of articles. And I'll pick out a couple of good ones. And Bill, if you can find some YouTube things, that'd be great too. But we'll include those with the minutes for the next meeting, or of this meeting.
And
I have a question about aperture priority, or, figuring out the aperture. And this is a question to people who have taken a lot more photographs than I have in your lifetime. Do you get a sense of what the depth of field is going to be with each different f-stop? I mean, do you know if you put it on f8 that it's going to be, fuzzy in the beginning and then, whatever?
Leslie,
I mean,
on almost all cameras, I don't know that it's true for every camera. And this goes back to 35 millimeter. There is a function button. I think it's usually on the bottom right of the lens, on the camera body, not on the lens body. But what that does is that's a depth of field preview, and you push that button. You focus, you get your shot set up with the lens wide open, so you've got a nice bright picture. And when you hit that shutdown, or that preview button, it closes the lens down to whatever you've got it set on, or opens it up to whatever you have set on. And you get an idea of.
I was thinking more in terms of, if you've done a lot of photography, do you just know innately? Is that something that I would learn eventually by taking more and more pictures, or would I rely on the F?
yes, you will.
Okay, great.
Now, what Mike sent out that time, showing the depth of field with different lenses, different distances.
Right.
Once you get out and do enough of that, your
Got a feel for
sixth
it.
sense will start popping in.
Okay, that's what I was curious about, because right now I have no sixth sense.
Well, I
This is
mentioned.
a segue into, at one point, we had mentioned going down to the Hope Valley train, this museum in Bonsall, since our challenge is trains and tracks next time. Have we thought any more about that?
Going down.
Yeah, I talked to one of the volunteers down there, and evidently there's always volunteers down there on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can walk around there any day you want, but sometimes, they're helpful and they might open up a car.
Yeah.
I think Frank and I got to go in a few different cars at one time
Yeah.
that we wouldn't have had the opportunity without somebody there to let us in.
And
They're usually pretty helpful.
And Bill, didn't he say that they have rides on Wednesday?
You would have to check the website.
Yeah, because I thought it was that they would have a ride, a train ride on a Wednesday. They're short. They're not going to be long, but there
What's
was
the
a
name?
lot to see.
What's the name of this again?
Oh God,
It's
New
part of
Hope
the
Valley.
yeah, New Hope. Yeah,
Yeah, it's become a part of the state of North Carolina. It's considered a museum, I guess, almost now, if
How
I'm
far-
not mistaken.
How far is that from, let's say, Farrington?
30 minutes.
yeah.
30 minutes.
It's
So
almost to like Sanford.
Oh, okay. So is that off of one?
Old One.
Yeah.
It's right off of Old One, coming due south of Apex.
Down near the nuclear power plant, isn't it?
Yeah, you go right past it.
New Hope Valley, is it called the New Hope Valley Railroad or something?
It's called the
Yeah.
New Hope Valley Railway,
Yeah.
Railway.
and it's at 3900. Is that Bonsall Road,
Mm-hmm.
New Hill, North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a
So
New Hill, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, should we plan a trip for next Wednesday?
Sounds good.
Well,
That was-
unfortunately, I'm forced out to be at the beach next week.
Oh,
Oh,
that's too
poor
bad.
baby.
You
There's
take
no
such
trains out
pleasure
there.
in jiving all of us, don't you, Bill, about your beach trips?
So,
If you feel so bad about it, I'll go instead of you.
It's not going to be as fun because I had this dog that just had
Oh.
surgery done on its knee and yeah, not going to be able, walk her that much and stuff, but hey, it's still the ocean. It's the sound of the ocean. It's the waves.
Yeah.
And there's a great bagel shop out there. Boom.
Yeah,
There
and
you
then
go.
the other side of it is my trip to the ocean a couple of weeks back, and the wind was blowing so hard there was sand in the air. So
Same for you, Susan?
For me too, the wind, but hey, it was the beach, but yes, yeah.
I'm
So
so
I, heard-
are you
Mike,
suggesting that we meet there on Wednesday?
The
We could
4th?
probably meet, we could meet here.
Well, let's, with a show of hands, who would be interested in going on that Wednesday? And we're talking the 4th.
It depends on the time.
Okay, let me see if I pull up the site if they had, when they open.
I have a phone call at 11 o'clock for like half an hour. Right in the middle of the day.
Just like this meeting.
That's true.
I'm looking for weather on the 4th.
It's gonna be hot, 82 and partly cloudy.
Oh, perfect.
No. No,
that's not hot.
that is hot.
That is lovely.
Yeah, sometimes these websites are not that great. It doesn't give me an,
Yeah, if you look at weather.com, you'll find 3 different temperatures on 3 different pages for them. So
okay, here we go. On Wednesdays, it's open at 9 to 5.
Oh, great.
So
And
maybe plan to go.
did somebody say we should do a little bit later in the afternoon? Like, Lynn, did you say you have a meeting?
Lynn is gonna be busy from 11 to 11:30.
Okay,
Oh,
so
don't plan it around me.
why not? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Well,
I'm not an early morning person anyway, so what time should we meet? Somebody suggest a time.
11:45.
well,
At Farrington, noon at Farrington.
Oh, at
Well,
Farrington.
the
I
lighting
think-
Carpool, I mean,
lighting at midday is the worst.
oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
It's
So
hard.
should we do it at 1?
I would say
Should we
that
meet-
mid-afternoon would probably be better. 3
like
to 5 or something like that, but then you'd hit traffic coming back maybe. But
That too. I'm just throwing times
What
out.
traffic?
Right.
New Hill traffic.
so what time are we deciding?
2 to 4.
That's too, I think it's later in the day would probably be better for the lighting, no?
yeah,
They're closed. at
Either the
5.
morning or the
Oh, it closes at
afternoon.
5. Sorry, forgot that.
Yeah.
let's say,
Okay,
how about
leave it at
3
3.
o'clock?
3.
3 at Farrington?
Or free at the train station. I mean, I was just throwing that out as a
We can
suggestion.
meet at 3 at the Roost and whoever wants to carpool.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I go by there
Okay.
all the time. I use that as a shortcut to go see my sister in Fuquest, so I go through there all the time, so. If I can drive, I'm having surgery on my eye Thursday, so I think I'll be okay by then.
Okay.
Somebody can drive
sounds
you,
like-
My glasses.
somebody can drive you and just set your camera for a very, very deep depth of field, and then you won't have to worry about focus.
Yeah. But this segues us into another thing that I want us to think about. Do we want to have a subcommittee to talk about special trips like this, special opportunities? Or do we just want to kind of continue to have them come up around our challenges?
Hmm.
I think that's the best,
Okay.
unless you're just getting together to talk about lenses or something, something more technical with cameras, then I think it's best to do it around the challenge,
Okay.
for me. That's my own
I
opinion.
think we can do both. As the weather gets nicer, if people want to
Mhm.
get together, I mean, you know.
Mhm.
And if anything pops up, like Leslie was able to get the okay for us to go to the Arboretum, we could do that also. So I'm hearing that we probably don't need a separate subcommittee.
At least not today.
Okay.
Wait, Lynn.
Just, yeah, one other thing to report on, Lynn and I have come up with ideas for the future challenges for June, July, and August. And I've emailed Gary, but I haven't heard back yet. I
you
don't
heard
know if he doesn't go to email much but we've come up with some good ideas, and I just don't want to, reach out to him and see if he agrees with them. So then we can go ahead and establish those dates.
All right. So you've not heard anything from him?
I have not. I ran into him at the farmer's market last week, but it didn't come up. It was just a quick, how you doing? Because I had never met him before. So I just went up and introduced myself. But I had emailed, I think it was like just before that, your initial email sent out the listing, and Lynn came back with some. I had pretty much the same as she had and a couple of others, but we've kind of pared that down. So I think we're ready, but just want to get him, give him the opportunity to get involved.
Who's him? I'm sorry, I'm missing.
Gary Ace.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know Gary was his name.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like, Gary.
And
I
his
don't know.
email is Ace. So I didn't know, was that a nickname but it is his last name.
If anybody sees him, it might be worth checking that email and being sure that it is still correct.
Is there a phone number for him?
And I'll check that, and I'll say, call him and see if,
Yeah.
ask him, have you seen your emails, or confirm your email?
Because once I ran into him at the farmer's market, and he said he had a habit of forgetting the meetings. And so I sent out the reminder later this time, hoping, but I'm wondering now if that email is accurate.
Yeah.
I don't
I seem
want
to remember him.
I don't want to shut
ahead.
off the discussion, and I'm not going to end my part of the meeting because I'm afraid it might end other folks, but I'm going to sign off so that I can breathe easy getting to my appointment. But I'm not going to close my screen. I'm just going to stop the video, and I'm going to leave my computer on so that I just don't want to take a chance on dropping the connection for the rest of you. So good meeting you all. Thank you very much.
And good luck, Mike.
Take care.
Good luck on your test.
What's that?
Thank you.
Tom?
Okay, so I have two things that I want to mention, if this is an appropriate time.
Sure.
Okay, one is I was looking in, I discovered this whole thing about upscaling. Does anyone know about upscaling?
No.
So I think it started with Leslie. I think you brought up something about why do some pictures look small on the screen and others look larger? And so I started looking into resolution in photographs and the number of pixels per photograph. And that led me to this thing called upscaling. And I think it's fairly new. It's a phenomenon connected with machine learning. So there are some websites and apps for phones and websites for computers. And what it does is it either doubles, quadruples, or 8 times the number of pixels in a photograph. So if you have a photograph that is very low resolution, for example, some things that where, for example, if you took a photograph and expanded it greatly and found a very small piece within a photograph, eventually it'll become pixelated.
Right.
And that is generally undesirable. Might be effective some places, but generally undesirable. And you can very quickly put it in one of these free apps and it will quadruple the number of pixels in the image.
Mhm.
And there are many out there. And the one that I hit on, and I have no idea if it's the best one at all, is called upscale. You can find it at upscale.media.
Okay.
Upscale.media. And if you take a very low resolution photograph, for example, one that is 1100 by 1100 pixels or smaller, and put it in there, and it will amaze you.
Really?
all the pixelation will go away, and it's quite effective and really very cool. And it's free. There are some, if you want to do it 8 times, you have to pay, but for 4 times you can. It's very effective. And and again, I say I have no idea if this is the best one, but it works for me, and it's called upscale.media.
Thank
Super
you.
simple,
Yeah.
super simple to use, super simple and free. The other thing that I would like to mention is that some people, I know there's talk about affinity photo, and I have probably about an 8th grade understanding of 8th grade elementary school understanding of affinity photo. And if anyone would like to learn what I know about affinity photo and would like to get together with a laptop, I would be more than happy to show people how to do it. It's an advanced, probably not as advanced as Photoshop by a long shot, but much, but it's arguably a professional type program. And you can do very simple things with it in a heartbeat. It's no harder to do it in Affinity Photo than it would be to do it in Elements, for example. So if anyone would like to learn about this kind of thing, I would be more than happy to get with them, and they can call me at this number. I guess we've lost our video.
No,
You
no,
can
we
call
see
me.
it.
Well, but the tape might be.
Oh, right, yeah.
Anyway, that's my phone number. Anyone who would like to learn, would like to let me share with them about what I know about Affinity Photo, call me.
The answer is yes.
Okay, can you give me the number again, Bill?
Yes,
Tom?
919-542-4897.
Because
Okay.
Tom, did you hear about the
Yeah,
course that I sent out?
yeah,
the email?
super. It's great. It's great.
Oh, actually, Tom doesn't know about the course you're teaching. He knows about the videos that you wanted him to see. So I need to talk to Tom about the course.
Mhm.
Okay.
I haven't had, I was at the beach and I got behind on my cutting and pasting things into.
Because there was a YouTube channel
Yeah.
that has like 65 very short videos just on very specific functions that there's like 65 of them, and it's called ABC, Affinity Beginner Course. And the
Yeah.
guy keeps it very simple, which is really good. So yeah, I'd be all on board to learn more about it.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
call me.
from
We'll
a-
set up a time and a place. I would prefer to do outdoors because we're still real COVID conscious at our home.
Mhm.
So
Right.
what else? I think. Oh well, I just started looking at a few things. I mean, people want to do Elements, and that's great. But my understanding is that Elements is like $10 a month or something, and
No,
Well, that's
No.
that's the online. If you,
Photoshop and
Yeah.
Lightroom.
yeah,
Yeah, Elements
Okay.
is a one-time buy,
yeah.
okay.
but it's probably twice as expensive as Infinity. You don't get updates with Elements, but you do get updates with Affinity.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
And I think Elements is destructive, and Affinity is non-destructive.
so as far as the course that I have 6 people that I got locked in for the little workshop. The good news is that it's at a simplistic level, that those tools that I'm going to show people are very simple and basic in Affinity as well. So if people want to make that transition over to a more and a better robust piece of software, which Affinity is, yeah, it'll be a simple transition.
Okay.
I did that in mind because I'm thinking about diving into Affinity a little more as well. So
Okay.
So let me say what I think the big disadvantage of Affinity is, and it is a big disadvantage, and that is that nobody uses it. And so, for example, I wanted to do a class at the Botanical Garden in photography, but it's all based on Photoshop.
Yeah.
And that's anything that you do is always going to be based on Photoshop. And so that's a big drawback. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Oh,
yeah.
Another piece of software that I discovered through the Chapel Hill Club is called paint.net. It also is non-destructive. I played a little bit with it, and it seems to be on par with Elements, but perhaps simpler to use. So if anybody wants to explore paint.net, it touts that it can do anything that Elements does, but that it's easier to use, and it is free.
okay.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
am I signed up for your Elements?
No.
You got 7 then. If you
Okay.
can manage it.
Do you have Elements on your computer and can
I
you bring it?
do. I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Was
One,
there
I think I also
Bill?
have Affinity.
was there a date on that class, or did I?
I'm going to go to the library tomorrow
Okay,
and I'm gonna make a reservation.
okay,
I'm not sure, because I'm gonna be gone next week.
right.
So what I'm hoping to do is maybe try to make it the 3rd week of May sometime. So I'm gonna see what their schedules are.
Okay, great.
And I have a sort of vague question. Okay, one of the things that I know Affinity does and Photo Elements does, but you don't have to do it, is the concept of the layers, which I know Helen has also talked about. And I don't know if there's any way in the world for Tom to talk about layers to the group so that they could understand how to use it in Photo Elements. In other words, is the concept of layers same for the different products? Because with Photo Elements, you don't have to do layers in order to make changes, where in Affinity, you actually are making a copy of the photo and then using layers. So I don't know if there's a way to mix and match so that people could understand the concept of layers, even if it's not specifically, mentioned to a specific product.
One of the reasons that I got interested in paint.net was I read a review of it, and some woman said it took the mystery out of layers, and I thought, this is for me, but I haven't had time to explore it yet. So I think you're right. All of these things cover layers, and the concept has to be the same. It's just getting it through my thick skull.
Every layer is something on a clear plastic sheet, and you layer them, and you can see through. You can see through to what's underneath.
I can do it, and then I write the instructions down, and then I can't do it again.
I totally understand. I can say that, but then when I'm looking at all these layers and go, well, wait a minute, what? I get all confused. It's difficult, but that's what makes it. That's the key to making it non-destructive, because all you do is pull out one of the sheets of plastic. You don't change your anything. You just And then you can always go back and put the piece of plastic back in again with a slider.
Hmm.
Oh dear,
That's
that
what
sounds very
that's what you do.
complicated.
That's what you do. Anyway, I can, like I said, I feel like an 8th grader, which ain't much, but
Well, since I'm in third grade,
I'm in kindergarten.
Yeah,
on
me too.
Preschool.
I haven't
Well,
been born yet.
so that's it.
Can I report something out?
Mhm.
On the senior games, we've had 4 digital photographs and no film this year. And so we have myself, Mark is back, and I believe, who else went in?
Mike,
Did Mike?
I put
Mike.
one in.
No, Mike didn't.
Thank
I
you.
put one in.
Yeah,
Right.
you did. That's
Yeah,
right. So the 3 of us, and then there was another person who I didn't know the name. I was hoping if it was 3, then each one was guaranteed to get a medal. Because but I think Mike would have appreciated this if he was online, but I think Mike had a problem with a number of issues that occurred last year. But this time, believe it or not, the committee that's going to be reviewing this actually has a professional photographer in it. So that I think adds an element of
Yeah.
sophistication. So I don't know what that means.
Or terror.
Well, yeah, right, exactly. So that's all I wanted to report. They're going to be displayed. The photographs are going to be displayed at the Welcome Center in Pittsburgh, which is an old bank building they converted to a welcome center, which is right just before, if you're coming down into the town, just before you get to the courthouse. It's on the right-hand side.
Larry, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you realize that we're not seeing you? There we go.
He's hiding.
Yeah.
I was hiding. I was trying to talk. I have this microphone here, so I was
Okay.
talking into. But did you hear what I said
Oh,
about?
absolutely, yeah.
So they're gonna be displayed, I think, until the 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks in May. And
Okay.
they might even be up now. I know they brought them, all the photographs had to be in by the 25th so they could assemble them at that location. So I'm not quite sure when it's going to be. I'll let you know when I find out. But just information.
Great,
Okay,
thank you.
great.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck with your photographs.
Okay, thanks.
who's
Are
in
they-
charge?
Are there any further announcements or comments?
No, I guess Helen, you and Mike and Lynn are going tomorrow morning to the, okay.
Sure.
If I can get these things done with the pool, I'll just meet you down there. But
Okay.
a couple of more things just popped up on an email. that I got.
Helen, we're
I got
gonna
to
just
address.
meet, we're gonna just meet at the church, is that right?
If I can get out of these, or I get these things done, then I'll go down there, but I may be involved.
I was asking Helen as well.
Yeah,
You're gonna
meet at the church, meet at the
Okay.
church, not
Okay.
those,
Okay, good.
for the 3 of us that are going, well, Mike, yeah, there could be 4 then.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
And then
So
you'll
we'll-
send out something about the meeting the field trip? Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Sure will.
you
Helen, what would we do without you?
Yeah,
Right.
probably do much better.
No, no.
all right.
Well,
All
good.
right,
All right,
Bye,
so,
everybody.
Bye.
okay, everybody have a nice
see
week.
y'all. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
And everybody leaves so that Mike gets shut out.
All right, bye.